Let's talk about Khufia for a moment because you're doing, in a way, a spy thriller. You know, what is quite remarkable is the range over the years that you've been able to bring to your cinema. You take a real life story, you chose a non-fiction book, and then build it into a story for OTT. What for you attracted you to the project? Why did you decide to do this?
So this book was written by Mr. Amar Bhushan, who was the head of counter-espionage unit of RNDW. And I was very fascinated when I read that book because usually, we don't get to know about the intelligence operations. And our RNDW is really secretive in taking out, their operations or the details of those operations. Now, I think 2 years back, the government has banned that.
Yeah, government has banned all
Or I think all security
all
agencies.
security agency officers from coming on screen or even on television shows to speak about their times. But you were lucky that it happened before.
Yeah, it happened before. So in retrospect, they didn't do it. So that's the good news. And I had this book with me, and it offered me such insight into R&AW world, the way they work, and especially the office atmosphere. And it's like any other government office. And the accountant is not giving vouchers for a washing machine to be given to an asset in Bangladesh. I mean, it is such a funny thing, and he's not passing the vouchers, so the officer goes and swipes his credit card for that. So these kind of details were there. Then there's a bus of the office who picks up their officers on the way, so they stand with their boxes, lunch boxes, and their suitcases on the road, and they are picked up and dropped. So these kind of details, we always think that the spies are, like the James Bond or Salman Khan, Ekta Tiger, or Pathan, Shah Rukh. So the reality is something else, and it's stranger than fiction. It's stranger than fiction.
So it's not James Bond.
It's not. Yeah,
it's an Indian raw officer
No,
facing all the problems of the state
yeah.
and dealing with the bureaucracy that is there.
Yeah, that too, and the reality of it. When we make spy films, we forget, that they are human beings first. They are not superhuman beings, and the facts, like they are not supposed to even carry weapons on them. They can't carry weapons. They have to, win something, whatever their operations, through their intelligence. So these kind of things, and especially this operation, because this was based on a real case, when there was a mole in RNDW office in year 2004. His name was Major Ravinder Singh, and they identified him. But they, the theme of the book and the film is that the puppeteer is more important than the puppet. So they wanted to catch the puppeteer. The puppet was already in their hands. So they laid surveillance on their officer, and inside their office they couldn't find the source where he's taking the money to. Taking these documents, the secret documents of our defense intelligence. So they bugged his home, and the control room was made across his home. There was a mother dairy booth, and in the back room of the mother dairy booth, the control room was made. So it was so fascinating that the R&W took over the mother dairy booth. They were selling milk and ice creams, and while keeping an eye on a mole. So these things actually, they excited me the most. That because when we make, we don't make espionage films. If you people must have seen Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy by Jean Le Carre. He worked in MI6 for 20 years, and later he became a fictional writer. When you watch those films, like The Most Wanted Man, or a TV series like The Americans. So I think I'm speaking a lot. So
No, you are
you are preparing for
no,
your
no.
next picture.
Lacare is in another league.
Yes.
And he's also been rediscovered by OTT and live streaming platforms. You've got series now being done on
Night
all
Manager.
his books again. The Night Manager being a great example of it. So are you telling me that you want to create, hopefully over time, maybe, rediscover this entire space very differently for Indian audiences?
Yes, because this subject of espionage has not been dealt by us as filmmakers as purely it should be, because it's very thrilling, it's very exciting, but it doesn't offer, you know, the flying cars and, you know.
नहीं, बॉलीवुड करता रहता है, बीच बीच में करता रहता है, ऐसा
जैसे
नहीं है.
बताइए,
हाँ,
बताइए क्या कभी आपने देखा है espionage? मैंने तो नहीं देखा.
यार अब आप पठान लीजिए, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं वो फ्लाइंग कार्स तो थे.
अरे मैं वो कह रहा हूँ कि वो उसका हाइटेंड वर्जन है जो कि बहुत मजेदार है, मुझे भी देखने में मजा आता है.
हाँ.
पठान देखने में मजा आया, जवान देखने में मजा आया, पर वो एस्पियोनाज नहीं है, वो एक इमेजिनेटिव वर्ल्ड ऑफ अ फिल्म मेकर है, और वो एक्चुअल एस्पियोनाज नहीं है.
शाहरुख उस पे कहता है कि मैं एक तरह से इंटेलिजेंस ऑफिसर हूं.
एक तरह से नहीं, वो इंटेलिजेंस ऑफिसर
हाँ,
है.
तो
और उन्होंने जो किया है, उन्होंने स्पेशली जो जवान में किया है शाहरुख ने, वो हम एज फिल्म मेकर्स नहीं कर पाए. शाहरुख ने इतनी खूबसूरत फिल्म बनाई है, जो कहना चाहा है वो कहा है, और वो फिल्म रिलीज भी हुई है. ही इज माई हीरो when I see him in Jawan.
So you're saying there's space for both a Jawan and for a Khufia
And a Pathan.
and a Pathan.
Yeah, of course Pathan should have a space in this country more now.